Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's presentation, part of a series of webinars provided by the Division of Public Health section of Chronic Disease Prevention and Health Promotion. We're happy you've joined us today. We're pleased to be offering this webinar series. We'll be offering the webinars on every third Tuesday of the month at 1 p.m. And we'll cover a host of topics that are sure to be of interest. In addition to sharing our work with you, we hope these webinars will spark your interest in learning more about our projects, as well as opportunities for collaboration. To give you a sneak preview of a few upcoming webinars, we'll be featuring a webinar entitled Fighting a Winnable Battle, Preventing and Screening Colorectal Cancer in March, and then in April we'll be discussing Alaska's Heart Disease and Stroke Program. Other ways you can stay connected to our work is through our monthly newsletter. You can sign up for this on the section's website. Our website address is at the bottom of all of our slides. A few housekeeping items before we start. Please mute your phone. Also, please do not put this call on hold. Rather, if you receive a call, please hang up and call back in. The webinar is planned for 30 minutes, a 20-minute presentation followed by 10 minutes for question and answer. Hang with me one second. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties. There we go. Before we get started on today's topic, I wanted to give you a brief description of our work in the section of Chronic Disease Prevention and Health Promotion. Our vision is for a healthy and safe Alaska, and our mission is to identify and advance the conditions that lead to safe and healthy lives. The primary aspects of our work include health promotion, chronic disease prevention, and data collection and surveillance. The icons you see on the screen represent a few of our programs and projects. Audio for this webinar will come through our computer. Another option is to call this number, 562-247-8321. If you have technical difficulties, please let us know by using the question function on the GoToWebinar control panel. You'll need a microphone on your computer, or you can call the phone number provided to ask a question out loud. Please hold questions until the end of the presentation. To ask a question, please raise your hand by clicking the hand button on the GoToWebinar control panel. With that, I'll let today's presenter introduce herself and today's topic.
Thank you. As Kelly said, today's webinar will be an overview of the Bike and Walk Safely program for the state of Alaska. The program is housed in public health, chronic disease prevention and health promotion, injury prevention. My name is Renee Rudd, and I am the coordinator of the Bike and Walk Safely Alaska program. The objectives for this session is to describe what this program does and provide some basic information on how you can safely navigate when biking or walking in Alaska. The main goal of this program is to assist in keeping Alaskans safe. That goal is met by supporting organizers of safety events as needed. The needs vary from technical assistance to attending and assisting at the safety event. In addition to the technical assistance, materials can be supplied in the form of reflectors, leader safety kits, and even helmets for those who do not own one for biking events such as a rodeo. Organized events vary depending on the season, the location, and the purpose. Safe routes to school events can be anything from a bike rodeo to a walking school bus to bike to school day. Bike rodeos are a fun and interactive way to teach bicyclists of all ages the skills necessary to safely navigate. They are generally set up in a multi-station manner where a different skill is learned and finishes with a group ride. When it comes to being seen, you just can't be too bright. During the daylight hours, it is best to wear bright colors. Orange, yellow, fluorescent green are excellent choices for your outing. During low-light situations, reflection is your best friend. It is best to have 360-degree coverage. That way, no matter which direction oncoming traffic is coming, you will be seen. It is also advisable to have some reflective material on two moving parts. Knees or legs are always the first choice. In low-light situations, it is great to be wearing white, but wearing white in 360-degree reflection and 2 moving parts is ideal. When walking, you should walk facing traffic, and when biking, you should be biking with the flow of traffic. Walk and bike defensively. Make it easy for drivers to see you by wearing white and/or bright and reflectors. We are fortunate to have funding for bike helmets and on an average supply about 350 helmets a year throughout the state. The Bike and Walk program is not able to provide bike helmets to everyone who desires one, but we are able to provide helmets to those who do not own one and are attending a biking event. New to the program is the facilitation of an annual bike safety summit. The first summit was held last year in Anchorage and was a great success. A League of American Cyclists instructor facilitated the 2.5-day summit and instructed the attendees on a variety of bike safety items and hands-on drills. This clip was taken during the Anchorage Bike Summit last year. This is Vincent from Barrow. Vincent had never attempted these types of cycling moves, and he did fabulous. As you can tell, it's in slow motion. Vincent was new to biking, and this was a great success and exciting to see this skill mastered. The Bike Summit encompasses classroom training, bike handling skills and drills, a group ride, and ends with a short exam. Currently, plans are underway to organize a bike summit in Fairbanks for this coming summer. It will also be a 2.5-day training session and facilitated by 2 League of American Bicyclists instructors. We are hoping for attendees from throughout the state once again. There are 2 really great things in regards to the bike summit. Number 1 is that the attendees leave the training as confident and knowledgeable cyclists. The second thing is that they take the information they learn back to their community and pass it on in the form of an organized bike training event. Need I say more? We have all watched in awe as a person busy texting on their phone almost runs into us, or keeps moving forward even when we can plainly see it is not a good idea. Distracted walking is becoming more and more common, and the rate of injury is very difficult to track. It is believed that injuries from distracted walking is underreported due to people not seeking medical attention and not reporting how the injury really occurred when seeking medical attention. What is distracted walking, you ask? Basically, it is anything that shifts your focus from walking. It could be talking on a cell phone, listening to loud music, or texting. Walking requires you pay attention to the task on hand. You need to be able to hear your surroundings. You need to be able to see the upcoming curb or car, and yes, even being able to see the person walking directly towards you. I think we have all experienced the following. You are on a multi-use trail and you want to pass someone. You say nicely, "Pass on your left," but there is no reaction. So you repeat yourself, "Passing on your left." Still no indication that the person has heard you. Most likely they couldn't hear you. The music is too loud. Or you're on a crowded street, moving with the flow of people, when suddenly the person in front of you just stops. That person most likely just got a call or text and needed to immediately stop and respond. Don't be one of those people. Keep your music low. Move out of the flow of traffic when answering. Focus on where you're going, and above all, obey the pedestrian signs. Don't forget to look up. Catch the driver's eye when crossing the road. Look for backup lights when in the parking lot, and remember that the darker your colors, the more visible you become. Additional information is available on the Bike and Walk webpage, injuryprevention.alaska.gov. Available on the Injury Prevention webpage are links to these two posters. They are wonderful signage to post in your schools or utilize during safety events. The Bike and Walk Safely Alaska program goals are aligned with Alaska's Strategic Highway Safety Plan and Healthy Alaskans. Additional information is available on these links. The second link has detailed information on how to host a bike rodeo. Thank you very much for joining us today for this webinar. Please stay safe and bright out there. Goodbye.
All right, thank you, Renee. We're actually going to open it up now for conversations. That was a great presentation. Just a reminder, you will need a microphone on your computer, or you'll need to call in the number provided on the screen to join our discussion. To make a comment or ask a question, please raise your hand by clicking on the hand button. So remember to ask a question. You raise your hand by hitting the question box. It looks like we already have one question. And the question is, I'll go ahead and read it. Where can adults purchase reflector materials for putting them on their clothes and helmets, etc.?
Thank you for that question, Judy. Reflective material is available throughout the state in various stores. I know Fred Meyer's carries it, REI, the safety stores. You know, you just, if you look in the bike area, the athletic type area, Sports Authority, I think any store you'll be able to find some type of reflective fabric or shirts material. Thank you.
Any other questions out there? It looks like we have one. And I will unmute you, Doug Osborne. Go ahead with your question.
Yeah, I just had a question. There's a bike rodeo that's coming up here in May, and I was just wondering about the process or what needs to be done to make a request to get a couple helmets in case there's some kids that don't have them.
Doug, that's an excellent question. What you want to do is go to the website where you can find my email address if you didn't catch it earlier, and email me. What I will do is then send you a materials request form, which you'll fill out completely and return to me. There we are. It's renee.rudd@alaska.gov. You'll fill out the form, send it to me, and I will respond to you as soon as possible. Thank you for the question, Doug.
Do we have any other questions out there? I'm not seeing any that oh, here we go. Maria Bailey is asking, will there be any scholarships available for the Bike Summit in Fairbanks?
Thank you, Maria. Yes, there will be scholarships available for the Bike Summit in Fairbanks. At this point in time, I do not know how many. The scholarship entails, we will cover airfare and the lodging for participants who want to attend the summit, but in return, all those participants are required to host a bike safety summit in their community, and they must submit a report on what they did. The report would cover what the event was, how many attendees, age of attendees, things of that nature. Thank you for your question, Maria.
Great. Another question from Joseph Bishop. Is there a recommended mile/time daily or weekly for prevention of obesity?
Thank you, Joseph. To be real honest, I'm not comfortable answering that. I think somebody from our obesity unit would be better answering that question. We will.
We can forward this question on.
We will forward this question on. Generally, it's about 60 minutes a day for kids, but we'll forward your question on, Joseph.
Are there other questions? I'm going to scroll through one more time to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Oh. Doug Osborne, did you have another question, or was your hand still up? I just unmuted you.
No, I had one more follow-up question. It was kind of follow-up with Maria's in Fairbanks. I went to the summit in Anchorage. It was excellent. Just want to put a plug in. It was great, great training and great group. But with Fairbanks, Renee, do you have any idea on time frames? Are you looking at kind of later in the summer, or do you have any kind of even a ballpark?
Thank you, Doug. I am still in the planning stages, and I am thinking smack dab in the middle of summer. It will not be an August event again. We're looking at, I'm hoping it can be sometime in June, but I don't have all the details figured out yet.
Okay, great.
Thank you. Any other questions? I think we've gotten all the ones that people have typed in, and I don't see anybody else's hand raised. So with that, I would say thank you very much for joining us. Please take the survey at the end of this webinar just to give us feedback and see how we can do things better. And please join us in the future.